Welcome back to John Miller Field here at Circle Top Bar and Grill, Denmark, Wisconsin, the 77th annual ISC World Tournament. Men's Fastpitch softball at its finest. And two of the world's finest are going to match up in this one, Joe Todd. The top-ranked New York Gremlins knocked into the losers bracket last night. JB from Agora Hills in California have been fighting their way through the losers bracket all week after an early upset. This is a rematch of last year, and this JB squad is a real tenacious fighter.
J and B have really been rolling with their bats, so we'll see if they can match up with Jack Bestgrove there.
Jack Bestgrove, the presumed world number one for the top-ranked New York Gremlins. They have to hit the rebound button, Joe. We had Var Matiosian on a little bit earlier today. He talked about how they're treating it as just another normal day.
I don't think you can do that. This is a very important game. Obviously, it's an elimination game.
Batting order for JB, leading things off for the squad from California. It is Federico Eder at the top of the shop, Ismael Pena, Lenny Villavazo, Nico Carrillo, Juan Villavazo, Gonzalo Ojeda, then Cesar Rodriguez, Bo Bishop, Lucio Redomar drops from the top of the shop down to the 9 spot for JB. And defensively for the New York Gremlins, Matthew Waugh, Ben Anoka, and Brian Avery left to right across your outfield. Jerome Remicky, Cole Evans, Blake Hunter, and Eric Ochoa around the horn for the Gremlins. It is Jack Bestgrove, and it is Nick Mullins behind the dish for the team in green from Clifton Park, New York. Upstate New York, Zenon Winters, the designated player for the Gremlins this afternoon. JB out of Agora Hills in California, part of the greater Los Angeles area.
Jack Bestgrove line so far, 13 and third innings, 2 starts, record of 2 wins, 1 loss, 31 strikeouts, and 8 walks.
Lifted up in the air, out to left. Matthew Waugh will settle under that for the first out of the game. Joe, some changes in the lineup for JB. They moved things around a fair bit.
They really juggled a lot of it. Lucio Redomar was the leadoff batter in the last game, and he's now batting 9th.
Ismael Pena to the plate, the shortstop. Up and in from Bestgrove. Trying to remember if these two teams played each other in the Peligro Cup back in late June, early July. We'll take a quick look and we'll let you know. We're going to check, and yes, he did, says our first base umpire.
Mike Morrissey from Peterborough, Ontario. Home plate umpire is Glenn Brown. And the third base umpire is Mark Corris.
Called a strike. No, this is the first matchup with JB. Joe, who did not cross paths during the season. Upstairs from young Jack Bestgrove, and I think one of the storylines in this game, Joe, is how he recovers from that loss last night. That's the first setback that he's had since dropping a game to Canada early in the World Cup. There's a changeup from Bestgrove.
Great changeup.
We saw how he rebounded at the World Cup. Came back and mowed Canada in the gold medal game.
Lenny Villavazo, 7 for 16 so far in the tournament. 3 home runs and 8 RBIs.
Yeah, he is just picking right up where he left off last season. Swings and misses here at the Rise Ball. A couple of home runs earlier today in that game against the Grand Prairie Pirates. They just put on a fireworks show. Oh, 0-2 to Villavazo. And drilled and knocked down by Blake Hunter at first base, but that's all. That was hit so hard. Hunter dives to his left and prevented it from getting to the grass. Watch how hard that is stung. So Villavazo aboard with a base hit. And Nico Carrillo. Nico launched one in that JB game as well with Grand Prairie Pirates. Chases downstairs. A little off speed from Bestgrove there. Nick Mullins working that pitch in early.
Yeah, he's going to work that changeup a lot, I bet, anyway.
Well, given how hard this team, JB, has hit the ball, I would expect some off speed to try and get them off their stride. Swing and a miss there from Carrillo. Bestgrove ahead 1-2. 2 out. If you're just getting in with us, Blair Setford, Joe Todd on the ISC network. A 2-out single by Lenny Villavazo. He's at first base for JB. We're in the top of the first. Carrillo, line shot, and Eric Ochoa goes up the ladder to get that one. Good defense by the New York Gremlins. We'll go to the bottom half.
Whether you want to improve your grip in wet conditions or just to find the control you've been looking for, the Gorilla Gold Grip Enhancer has become the most recommended name in softball and in every sport where grip plays an important role. Gorilla Gold is the only grip enhancement approved by the ISC, ASA, and NCAA.
My name is Michael Holobradek. I'm from Czech Republic, playing for Hill United Chiefs, and I'm using Gorilla Gold.
My name is Pablo Miguelvaca from Argentina, and for every game I use Gorilla Gold.
Hola, mi nombre es Samuel Villalbazo, pitcher de la Selección de México, y en todos mis juegos uso Gorilla Grip.
Hi, I'm Adam Folkard, I play for the Hill United Chiefs from Australia, and I've been using Gorilla Gold my whole life. My name's Jack Vesco from Australia.
Joe back for the bottom of the first inning, and leading off for the New York Gremlins, Matthew Waugh. Jerome Remeke bats 2, Benanoka 3, Eric Ochoa hits in the 4 spot. Zenon Winters, our designated player, bats 5th. Cole Evans 6, Brian Avery, Blake Hunter, and Nick Mullins brings up the 9 spot for the New York Gremlins. Defensively for JB, Betty Eaters out in left, Lucio Retamar in center, Cesar Rodriguez in right field, and then around the horn, Gonzalo Ojeda draws it in the lineup at third base, Ismael Pena at short, Lenny Villavazo at second, Juan Villavazo over at first base, Ramon Godoy, and the battery mate, Bo Bishop, Nico Carrillo, you saw the designated player for JB. Joe Ramon Godoy, a no-hitter last night, looked dominant this morning against Grand Prairie Pride, or Grand Prairie Pirates. Pride, of course, was the team about 20 years ago, so I date myself badly.
You're old.
Yes, I am.
I have many years on you.
Godoy pitched for the New York Gremlins in the mid-2000 teens. Been gone about 6-7 years, but he's had a tough time with this club over the years, and we'll see if he can put that to rest today.
Very key for him to have a good start in this game.
Joe Matiwa having a pretty good tournament.
Yes, I'm just looking that up right now.
I think somebody told me 750.
Yes, he's 8 for 12.
That's not a bad tournament.
Yes. 2 home runs with that, 4 RBIs. You're a great leadoff hitter, though. Just a pure, got a great eye at the plate, puts the ball in play, but does have the power to knock it out of the park.
Swings through that drop ball from Ramon Godoy. And Joe, you know he is extra motivated against this Gremlins team. As I said, he's not been able to beat them here at the ISC since he left. This would mean something ultra special to Ramon Godoy.
I'm sure he's geared up and ready for this challenge.
When the Gremlins went down to JB last year, it was Max Montero that was on the board. This one is laced. It's going to go off the fence. Cesar Rodriguez will pick that up, and Matthew Waugh continues his torrid hitting, leading off for the Gremlins. Just drilled right over the head of Rodriguez, hits the post and ricochets a little bit. So Bo Bishop out to make sure that everybody knows that the signs are going to be the secondary or the tertiary set of signs, with Matthew Waugh aboard at second base. Jerome Remeke, perhaps the best player in the game today, Joe.
Yes, real power, plays great defense, can do it all.
Called strike on the outside corner.
5 for 11 so far in the tournament. 4 home runs and 7 RBIs.
And a changeup on the outside corner, a good one. We know Ramon Godoy has got a world-class changeup, and he paints the corner with that one.
This is the 5th game of the week for the Gremlins. This is the 7th game of the week for the JP.
Well, they want to make sure that they're on the same page for the signs. Home plate umpire Glenn Brown was going with them to make sure that that's all the conversation was about. Reese Casely is asking to clarify whether that counts as a defensive conference. Oh, 0-2 to Remeke. That one misses downstairs. Juan Villavazo at first, about 5 feet behind the bag. Lenny Villavazo, who always plays a deep second, is well back. And poked out to short. Ismael Pena will toss across for the first out of the inning. That might be the softest hit I've seen from Jerome Remeke all summer, Joe.
Yeah, well, it went right off the end of the bat. Did not get full barrel there.
Beninoka to the plate. How's Benny this tournament?
Benny is 3 for 10. One double. Kind of quiet for Benny.
I was literally thinking the same thing. Kind of quiet for Beninoka, a 2-time MVP of the ISC World Tournament, 2009. 2019, the last time it was here in Circle Top, and this one is well hit to right field, going back to the track almost. Cesar Rodriguez makes the grab for the second out. Beninoka here, he's got power to all fields. Takes that outside pitch to right, and Rodriguez just in front of the track. Now Eric Ochoa, fist bump for Bo Bishop and our home plate umpire, traditional. Glenn Brown and Zenon Winters are having a conversation. Don't know what that was about. Godoy in with a strike. Matthew Waz on third base. A double and advanced on the fly ball. Big cut from Eric Ochoa, although I don't know that Eric has any other kind. Looks at that one down low from Roman Godoy.
Very similar team batting averages here. New York Gremlins come in with a 337 team batting average, and JB comes in with 319.
Now, anytime you're batting over 330 or into the deep three teens, you know your sticks are on. There's some elevated batting averages that get puffed up in the early part of the week. It's the sharp end of the tournament where it matters. Swing and a miss. Down goes Eric Ochoa. Down go the New York Gremlins in the bottom of the first inning. We're scoreless through one complete. Headed back to the top of the second. Stay with us on the ISC Network.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Mattiosi. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
Juan Villavazo, Gonzalo Ojeda, Cesar Rodriguez for the West Coast JB team. Those snazzy yellow gloves, Joe, fit right in with the JB colors. Eric Ochoa's got the same set, but they really don't go with the Gremlins branding. I did like the Gotham City stuff that they came out with this year. I thought that was sharp.
Yeah,
and
nice.
the city outline on the Gremlins uni that they're wearing tonight looks pretty good too. Ran into Greg Hicks in between games. Greg just flew in today from California. Greg's a school teacher. They started school out there this week, so he just got away.
I'm sure it's pretty tough to go in and ask your principal if we can take a week off, especially the first week.
Well, especially the first week, yeah. Juan Villavazo at the plate. How's Juan doing?
Juan is 4 for 18 so far.
And that is drilled back up the box. You see Jack Besgrove knocked onto his keister. Watch this. That's a scary moment.
Yes. Good bat speed there by Juan Villavazo. Good follow through.
Upstairs to Ojeda. Fresh into the lineup. Joe, has he been getting a lot of ABs for JB? We just haven't seen them.
No, not at all. Only 4 plate appearances, 3 at-bats. Still looking for his first hit.
Ojeda underneath that rise ball. And swings through that curve to the outside corner. See the movement on this pitch.
Just looking at that home run column for JB team, they've had 15 home runs this week.
Seemed like they had about 15 in the game against Grand Prairie this afternoon. Chopper on the infield. Remeke comes across. He throws that away past Ochoa. And a rare defensive miscue by Jerome Remeke. Maybe a little too casual there, Joe?
Yeah, I don't think he had a full grip on the ball when he let it go.
We'll see it on the replay. Yeah, it looked like he was struggling to get it out of the glove and then hurried the throw, and it was offline. Great replay. Bo Bishop at the plate. This guy is a big, imposing presence in that right side batter's box. Hit a towering shot in their afternoon game against Grand Prairie.
4 for 10 so far in the tournament, 2 RBIs, or 2 home runs and 5 RBIs.
Upstairs. As a teenager, Bishop was signed by the Boston Red Sox into their instructional league program and spent 2-3 years in the Red Sox organization and still plays on the baseball side of the code in New Zealand back at home, but alternates back and forth between baseball and softball.
That's the skill.
That is indeed a skill. A very talented catcher. The knock was always on the hitting, but he's showing that that is an improved part of his game. Foul tip. Down on strikes goes Bo Bishop. Curse of the broadcasters in full effect.
3 strikeouts for Bestgrove.
Lucio Redemar at the dish, dropped from the leadoff spot down to the 9 spot. Swings up at that rise ball. This kid can fly, Joe. If he makes contact, you're going to have to hurry to get him at first.
Yeah, any slight bobble or a couple of bounces on that infield, you'll see him parked at first base.
He calls time and steps out. Needs to get reset. And chases after the rise ball again on the outside corner. That rise curve that Bestgrove throws to lefties is really hard to hit because it starts on the inside corner and it breaks laterally 12 to 14, 15 inches across. And swings and misses, tried to run up and slap, but that's a lot of moving parts. Bestgrove works out of a little mini jam. The strikeout will go to the bottom half of the second. Scoreless. Gremlins coming to the plate, bottom of 2. So let's look at all these scenarios.
How confident are you
as long as they don't
in your
give up
organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data. And they know it. With Armitage technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com and make your technology work for your business.
For the best bear tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
Zenon Winters will step in for the New York Gremlins. He'll be followed by Cole Evans and Brian Avery. 5, 6, 7 in the order. DP, shortstop, and right fielder.
Zenon Winters 1 for 8 so far in the tournament.
I was just about to say that Zenon's scuffling a little bit by his standards, and there's a hard hit ball and make it 2 for 9 for Zenon. Right through the 3.5 hole.
Shortstop number 34, Cole Evans.
Cole Evans at the plate. Cole really got his World Tournament kick-started the other night, Joe, in that game against Toronto. Went downstairs and hit a moonshot home run, a big high fly ball that cleared the fence.
He swings hard and swings fast. Good turn of the wrist there.
Out and away, and Godoy taps the chest. Knows that that wasn't where everybody wanted that. Godoy, the lion's share of the pitching for JB, 30 of the 35 innings. Started all 5 of the games. Just inside. A 1.16 ERA, Joe. 54 strikeouts in those 30 innings. So almost 2 per inning.
Gremlins don't play very much small ball, do they?
Not in the least. Certainly not this early in the game. Doesn't mean they can't. We saw a couple of bunts put down last night when the situation called for it late in the game, but with only 21 outs to utilize, no need to burn one early. There's a little flare in short right field. Long run for anybody. Villavazo dove for it. And quite frankly, Cesar Rodriguez did well to A, pick up that ball on the hop, and B, then hurtle over the head of Lenny Villavazo. Watch the athleticism here.
You just about got that.
So a pair of runners aboard for the Gremlins, and Brian Avery to the plate. Sometimes you don't have to hit them hard or far, it's just where you place them.
Godoy has to be careful with Avery.
Two 2-0 falling behind. Power hitter from British Columbia. And we'll be in his neck of the woods next year, Joe, the 2024 ISC World Tournament, going out to Softball City in Surrey, British Columbia.
Looking forward to that trip.
It's a called strike. 2-1. Just on the inside corner. Godoy again with a tap on the chest.
Really important. Got to get this first out here for the JB team. Good pitch location by Godoy. Low and outside.
Avery swings over the top. Good drop ball from Ramon Godoy. And a good recovery, too, going down on the count 2-0. Roars back to get Brian Avery. These two will know each other very well. Blake Hunter spent a number of years with JB before last year with Grand Prairie and transferring over here to the Gremlins this season. Bad snap throw down, and it gets past the shortstop, Pena. Zenon Winters is glad that he got back. Watch the arm here from Bishop. It gets through the shortstop, Pena. I don't know that they were going to get Winters, but it was going to be close.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
but it might have caught him napping.
This kid can throw. But now, big RBI opportunity for Blake Hunter, who's been mashing the ball all year long.
4 for 8 so far in the tournament.
I think only one of them, though, Joe, a single. The rest of them have been doubles or a home run. Fired in low from Roman Godoy. 2-1. And there's a strike. Let's even the count at 2-2. Just the one out in the inning. Back-to-back base hits by Zenon Winters and Cole Evans.
This is a key part of it.
Well, Blake Hunter down on strikes. He waves over the top of that drop ball. Real good pitch from Roman Godoy to strike out Hunter.
That was key.
Well, a rare feat these days, too. Nick Mullins, the 9-batter in the Gremlins order, to the dish. Talked last night with Matt Palazzo. Nick Mullins, the leader on this team, and a group of leaders. We've talked about that multiple times over the season. Mullins typically up the middle. And a changeup in. He'll know Godoy well, having handled him for 3-4 years in the Gremlins' middle past, shall we call it. And that's in for a strike. 1-2, 2 down on the inning.
Godoy with 38 pitches to this point of the game.
Zenon Winters at third. Cole Evans out at second base. Out and away. And just down and in from Godoy.
Nice pitch, though. Good location. If he's going to do anything with it, just going to hit it in the dirt. Trying to tie up his hands.
Full count. And swing and a miss, or the top of that good outside drop. Roman Godoy works out of that jam. Will stay scoreless through 2 complete. JB coming back up in the top of the third.
Small town USA, the birthplace of the great sport of men's fast-pitch softball. Nowhere more so than Denmark, Wisconsin. Well, softball fans, it's back. The ISC World Tournament is coming back to Denmark and historic Circle Tap Park. August 12th to 19th of 2023. The best of the best in men's fast-pitch land in Wisconsin for 8 days of top-level softball action. Located just minutes from everything downtown Green Bay has to offer. Fans will be able to catch all the ISC action, both at the newly refinished fields in Denmark and at John Miller Field in world-famous Circle Tap Park, where you can enjoy the games along with great food and drink specials. Find ISC Fastpitch or the 2023 World Tournament links on social media. Or visit iscfastpitch.com to find everything from schedules to info on accommodations. See you at the park.
Betty Eater at the dish for JB's. We go back to the top of the shop, and Joe, we've got a special guest joining us, Lang Harrow, the coach of the WBSC World Cup champion Aussie Steelers. And Lang, welcome to the ISC Network. I think you've probably got a rooting interest out there in this one.
Yeah, certainly enjoying watching our Aussie players play this week, and good to see Jack back out there today.
He's rebounding well. Situations both at the club level and internationally as well. We talked about losing that early one to Canada in the World Cup and then coming back and in the gold medal game. And congratulations on that. It was a tough one for us Canadians, but congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you. The guys were just outstanding the whole tour. It was a lot of fun to be a part of, and they were just exceptional. So they deserve what they got, and Canada, we just tough games all the time in that. So a lot of fun to be a part of, and great for the sport.
You've got a rooting interest, or you had a rooting interest with your son too, Matt, playing with the Circle Tap Dukes. What's his experience been like coming over to North America to play for the first time this summer?
Yeah, listen, he's had a great opportunity to be over here, and every time we sort of talk to him and that, he's really enjoyed his experience, and he always had a few tough times in that, and the guys, a willingness to share a bit of their knowledge and to help him out in that. They made him feel really welcome, and he certainly really enjoyed being over here.
Great, and a great place to come play too with Circle Tap, with a couple of fellow Aussies there, in Ryan Sinclair and some other guys who have come through here, young guys. Leighton Reed is another one that comes to mind.
Yeah, and I guess too a couple of Canberra boys with Josh White and Jay Selu and that being around here and that. So there's an Aussie player around here, and that, so it certainly made it easier. Keenan Smith, another guy, they him and RJ living together and that. So they really enjoyed the experience out here, and hopefully they're going to bring some of that knowledge back home and help other guys out, and and continue to grow our game back in Australia.
There was an Aussie team here that played in the 21 and under tournament. Any prospects you're keeping an eye on there?
Is that Southside? Southside from Brizzy and that. Yeah, well, at the end of the day, we have been looking at some of those guys, part of the 23, team squad and that, and it's for them to come over here and gather this experience and be around this environment is an exceptional. And I would have guessed that these guys going back home, they're going to push their levels, and who knows where it's going to take them to, and hopefully it's going to lead them into a Steelers jersey down the track.
There's a quick turnaround for you as Pena slashes this one out to the gap, and he'll make the turn at second and be quite happy with a hand clap over at second base. There's a quick turnaround this year. What does your qualifying schedule look like in 2024?
That's a very good question, Blair.
Okay. And you may or may not know the answer to that one just yet.
I don't have a lot of knowledge on that, and I still, my understanding is we're still waiting. I think there's got to be a couple other cities or opportunities, for the Pool A, Pool B, Pool C to, and to me there has been no information on that, so certainly not brought up to date on that, but it's I guess for our environment it is quite challenging, going back-to-back years, and because the guys got to support themselves, they got to spend a few dollars to to wear the jersey, and it'd be good to know really what's going on, I guess, really for the guys to start planning for next year.
So list this one, and Remeke will haul that in over on the left side, just past the entrance to the Gremlins dugout. That is hit up a long way, and Good job by Remeke to find the fence. That's exactly how you play that, Joe. Find the fence, make sure you can track the ball, and good defense there by Jerome Remeke. Nico Carrillo will come up to the plate. We're chatting with Lang Harrow, the coach of the Aussie Steelers. You've also been coaching the women's team. How are you finding the time to do both?
Well, I guess it just worked out last year in that space where, I had some time and the opportunity to go away with Steelers. And, we just finished, we were over in Czech Republic. We set up camp there in Prague. And, we stayed at the same accommodation where the Argentina men's team stayed in 19 and that. So it really worked out well there for our lead up into Ireland. And, that was an interesting setup there. Great scenery and that, but the conditions were quite challenging later in the tournament and that. But our team, we really achieved the culture, and that was really good, and came away with what we need to do for next year.
Yeah, that was great. You guys qualified on to the next round. We're chatting with Lang Harrow, head coach of both of the teams still, correct?
Well, at the moment, I think there's going to be a clash next year, so that's just the way it is. But we got a lot of good people back in the country to to take over the job and that, and whatever happens and that. So just looking forward to see the guys put on the uniform again, and obviously the spirit going to the World Cup in Italy.
In addition to young players like Jack Besgrove, you've got some real young up-and-comers too. Riley James is a guy that comes to mind that played both the U23 as well as the men's team. Who else is at home in Australia that was on either the Steelers or the U23 that maybe should be coming over to North America?
Yeah, I guess from that U23, Ryan King, he was a part of the 18 team, Jeremy Waters. We had a few guys there that were part of that 18 group that had success in Prince Albert, and to really see those guys, perform at that next level, and I'd like to think, in the not too distant future that, they're going to be a part of the program moving forward and that. And, it's exciting to see, the growth in them. And I guess too, we got other players just keep pushing the envelope, and that's what we really need. We need that competition to, fight for those spots and, push our senior guys out of the way and say, I want to be a part of this.
Scott Patterson, this is his first North American tour, and he's been very impressive all year long. Couple big 3 home runs so far for the Hill United Chiefs. You have to like the way that he's playing.
Yeah, Scott. He's, he had a great tournament for us in Auckland, and to watch him through his campaign over here for the first time, it's been exciting to watch, and he's having a fantastic week this week, and I guess. They probably want to throw to him a bit more because, the top of the lineup with Blair and Bolin there, it's, he's going to probably see a few more pitches, and I think he's, taking advantage of that.
Yeah, making the most of that opportunity for sure. You've got some veterans, of course, like Nick Shales and even some guys that have graduated out of the program, some veterans like Zenon Winters and a rooting interest there, I'm sure, too.
Oh. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Zenon did a lot for the game, in Australia, and for him, to continue here, on the ISC, programs and that, all the tournaments throughout, he's one of the best hitters still going around, and makes it tough on the pitchers. And, Shalesy, I just, love watching him play, the plays he can make defensively in that, and, what he can contribute in the batter's box, and, just a good team player.
Still right at the top of the game. One of your own is going to be going into the ISC Hall of Fame next year, as they can't get the ball to the glove and nobody home at first base. Matthew Waugh aboard with an infield single. Little miscommunication, Joe, or is Villavazo shaded too far up the middle to get there?
Yeah, out of position there.
He's way over towards second base and has to be aware that Matthew Waugh might drop that bunt down.
Juan Villavazo charged, and Lenny should have been over to cover.
Jeff Goolagong elected to the ISC Hall of Fame. Can you say a few words about Jeff?
Yeah, just a outstanding person. Obviously, from my point of view, being a Canberra boy, and that's where I live in that, and I guess seeing him at a young age, and representing Australia, but not only that, coming over here and playing for some big time club teams, and the success he had over here, and just always love watching Jeff play. And
by Juan Villalbazo at first base.
Diving play and saves likely a run there, Joe, as that probably rattles around down in the corner. And Matthew Waugh, the way he runs, might give that a charge around to the plate.
yeah, so it's a big congratulations to Jeff Goulagon. So well deserved and fantastic to see, and he really deserves that honor, and just so proud of him.
The first Australian player to be headed to the ISC Hall of Fame. Certainly isn't going to be the last, and I've saved these two for the end here for Adam Falkert and Andrew Kirkpatrick. Can you talk about what those two have meant to the Aussie Steelers?
Yeah, well, I guess at the end of the day, my first times with them were with the junior Steelers, and they both had success with gold medals there, and then obviously they just fit it straight into the Steelers team, and they helped change the culture around in that environment, and leading to success early on in New Zealand with the bronze medal, the first medal for the Steelers, and then ultimately in '09 where they contributed so much, and then Adam throwing what a no-hitter against the Black Sox in the gold medal game was just absolutely amazing to watch back home in Australia.
Lucio Redemar corrals that high fly ball and keeps Matthew Waugh at second base off the bat of Ben Anoka. The wind must be swirling more than we think it is, Joe, out there, because he kind of circled the wagons on that a little bit. I see the flag just moving a bit, but we can feel the breeze in here,
you can
too.
see the treetops there still moving fairly well.
Lang, are you going to make any detour up to Ontario while you're up here in North America?
No, unfortunately this time not going to make it up home way, but we've had a bit of family just drop through last night, and we're going to make our way down to Quad Cities, and I got family down there, so cousins are coming in from Ontario, so spend a few days down there, finish up in Nashville, and Allison myself will head back home to Australia and back to work.
Back to work. Well, Nashville is a pretty good place to end up at the end of the day.
Well, we hear a lot of good things, people being there and other people that haven't, and they say, oh, it's a great place. So, yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
Well, thanks for stopping by. It's much appreciated that you came in, and we'll let you enjoy the view here to the end of the inning. For those that don't know, a family originally from the Milverton, Ontario area, that's why I brought up Ontario, and that tends to be your home base whenever the Aussie Steelers do come up and tour Central and Eastern Canada.
Yeah, and we always love taking the guys there. We get well supported there, and I think that's been part of our success. Being in that environment, and not only for the senior guys, the junior boys, and we can never thank them enough for what they've done for our program and the support we get from them.
That's going to lead to the first runner. Will it? Here's the throw, the play at the plate. DOA. Wow, what a hose from Lucio Redemar. On a line, on time, and Matthew Waugh gunned down at the plate. Watch this throw.
Great tag there and concentration by Bishop.
What a throw.
dream catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in
Juan Villavazo, the leadoff batter, here in the top of the 4th inning. First baseman, he got on by way of a single back in the 2nd inning and was stranded at third base.
Well, Joe, the crowd still buzzing about that play at the plate and the throw by Lucio Redemar. I think the word is out. Do not run on this kid.
He threw a bullet. That was a clothesline.
It's off the roof and will make its way out to the parking lot on the other side of the building. Joe, great chat with Lang Harrow, the head coach of the Aussie Steelers, the world champion Aussie Steelers. In fact, they've got 2 of the 3 World Cups right now.
Yes.
The U18 coming up a little later this year. They've got a chance to get all 3 of them.
Blair, as this game goes along, what do you think? Does this kind of slow down the confidence that Bestgrove might have?
I don't know about that, Joe, but I think the longer it's scoreless, the more it favors JB.
Mm-hmm.
Swing and a miss there by Juan Villavazo because, the Gremlins, and they're quick strike offense too, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They're 1 through 9. Those guys can hit the ball out of the park at any time. Roman Godoy is doing a real good job of keeping the ball down right now. But if I were the Gremlins coaching staff right now, I'd be a little concerned that one of the guys on JB runs into one, and the way that Godoy is pitching, it could be a 1-0 ball game.
Yes. Bestgrove with 58 pitches to this point. Top of the 4th inning.
Maybe a little higher than you'd like, do you think?
Yeah, that's about 5 pitches too many per inning. That will catch up to you near the end.
Inside corner to Gonzalo Ojeda.
Ojeda looking for his first hit of the tournament. 0 for 3 so far. Very limited playing time.
Upstairs, chases away, and down on strikes goes Ojeda. That'll take us to Cesar Rodriguez.
3 consecutive strikeouts for Bestgrove.
Right for the number 31, Cesar Rodriguez.
Just off the outside corner for ball 1.
Rodriguez got on by way of an error by Jerome Remeke. Little problem with a throw. Stranded at second base, though.
Oh, great changeup from Bestgrove. And way out in front. He's going to need to see a chiropractor after that swing.
That's pretty to watch.
Chase is upstairs. Two and two. 2 out here, top of the 4th. Well hit. Right field. Avery to the fence. He'll watch it go to the tent. Cesar Rodriguez jumps JB into the lead.
Got a hold of that one right on the barrel.
And Joe, look at the minion glasses here. The home run minion glasses come out for Cesar Rodriguez.
Catcher number 35, Bo.
And Joe, that's what we just talked about, that somebody could run into one. And now the pressure is going to be on the offense for the Gremlins to respond. And Ramon Godoy has done a great job of keeping the ball down tonight against the Gremlins. He's not really worked up in the zone too much.
Only given up 4 hits so far, and the 4 strikeouts.
But how many fly balls? Just the one?
One here, one here.
So 2 to Ben Anoka. He's been the only guy to get the ball really deep in the air. Matthew Waugh hit a line drive. That was off the fence. Bishop chases upstairs again for the 3rd out of the inning, but Cesar Rodriguez plants one atop of that big green and white tent over the fence in right field. JB now with a 1-0 lead will go to the bottom of the 4th. Zenon Winters to the dish, Joe, and I watched Zenon watching Ramon Godoy take his warm-ups. And that was why he was watching Ramon Godoy take the warm-up so closely. Ramon Godoy threw a couple of drop balls with his last 2 warm-up pitches. Zenon Winters pounces on that drop ball from Ramon Godoy, and he's aboard with his second base hit of the day.
Well, a true professional hitter there. You don't just go up there and wave your bat around. You have a look at the pitcher, see what he's throwing, where he's throwing, what movement's on the ball.
Tawny Mumu on to pinch run for Zenon Winters. You know, Joe, we're getting into the middle innings here. 4, 5, 6. They've had 1 base runner thrown out at the plate. Inside to Cole Evans. And the Gremlins have got to start moving the guys that do get on base. You're not going to run on Bishop. We'll see if he's willing to throw down to first. And Cole Evans knocks a base hit out to left. Mumu stops at second base. And this is how rallies start, Joe.
Right fielder number 33, Brian
Second time through, Brian Avery now. And we saw this scenario back in the second inning. Both of these guys, Winters and Evans, were aboard with base hits, and Ramon Godoy reared back and struck out 7, 8, 9 batters. We're going to get some action down in the right field bullpen as Max Montero heads out again to throw some pitches. Avery fouls this one right back to the screen, the first pitch.
Real challenge here for Godoy.
Well, again, you've got to go and stick with your game plan, with what's been working. You don't need to change it. Mumu at second, Evans at first. Avery looking to change the score, swings and fouls that one straight back.
Good pitch there by Godoy.
Yeah, Brian Avery is not getting anything above the knees.
Gonna need pinpoint location on this pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Want to keep the ball down. If Avery's going to hit it, you want him to hit it on the ground. Got up a bit. And it's intercepted by Pena, but it's tossed to Villavazo at second, and a collision at second, and Villavazo has come up grabbing his knee. He and Cole Evans got a piece of each other. We've got a tie ball game, but Lenny Villavazo is down. You see the collision there as his leg buckles underneath him. Not expecting the flip from Pena, he reached out with his bare hand and didn't see Evans coming in behind him. And there takes out Lenny Villavazo. And he is in some considerable pain. Trainer and the coaching staff from JB are out to see to their injured star. Joe, that's not a pretty situation right now.
Not at all.
Mark Aranda is over. And you see it here one more time. Evans belatedly has to slide because of the toss by Pena. Completely unexpected. And now Lenny Villavazo is sitting upright at least. He's gingerly trying to flex that left leg.
Great range by Pena to get to that ball.
He's working the ankle, it looks like, a little bit here. I thought it was the knee, but maybe it's the ankle.
Mm-hmm.
Luciano, why don't we take a break and we'll let Lenny Villavazo try and get upright, and then we'll be back.
baseman number 12, Blake Hunter.
Well, Joe, Lenny Villavazo is upright and has been flexing that left ankle. He's going to be limited in mobility, and he's going to need some right here as the infield is in, and Blake Hunter at the plate. And I'm just watching. I'm keeping an eye on Lenny Villavazo. We'll maybe get some shots of Lenny in between pitches. He is really ginger on that left leg right now. Hunter swings down at that offering. Runners on second and third. We got ourselves a tie ball game out of all of that. Tawny Mumu came around to score. Cole Evans up to third. And Brian Avery is at second. Just off the outside corner from Godoy to Hunter. Nobody out in the inning. Gremlins have rallied back here in the bottom to tie after the Cesar Rodriguez home run in the top of the fourth. And that just misses inside to Hunter. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Max Montero continues to work down the JB bullpen. Hunter swings over the top of a great drop on the outside corner. Real good downward action on that pitch from Roman Godoy. Watch it snap off the table here. Velocity and movement.
4 strikeout for Godoy.
Nick Mullins to the plate. You almost need a strikeout here, too, if you're Roman Godoy. This one is flied out of play. One ball, 1 strike to the 9 batter in the Gremlins order. Matthew Waugh awaits on deck. He is 2 for 2. 2 hard hit balls. The Gremlins would dearly love, as hot as he is, to get him to the plate with the bases loaded. There's an inside pitch, and right there, Nick Mullins just showed everybody how to ask an umpire about the location of a pitch without embarrassing the umpire. He just quietly turned his head and said, "Is that as far inside as you're going to go?"
True professional.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Godoy has been relying on the drop on the outside corner to get some strikeouts. They went there last time with Mullins. They come inside with the drop this time. I don't think that's where they wanted that pitch. You just saw Godoy tap the chest. And he's really slowed the pace, Joe. The long stroll out behind the circle.
Throwing a lot of pitches this inning.
Time here at the plate. Bishop, I think, has got...
Bishop granted it.
Yeah, Bishop is...
requested it.
Is making some adjustments. I don't know if he got a little fleck of dust in the eye. It's blowing around here a little bit. And there's the drop, and Mullins swings over the top. That's been the strikeout pitch for Roman Godoy. We've seen a lot of guys, Joe, will go to the rise ball for the strike, but this drop is working well for Godoy. Right on the outside corner. That's been the pitch. Hasn't been able to figure out Matthew Waugh, but neither has anybody else here this tournament.
10 for 14. whatever that average would be.
Good drop on the outside corner.
Godoy has to work hard against Matthew Waugh. Key point in the game right here. 2 runners in scoring position, 2 out. Bottom of the 4th inning.
Just misses inside. You're not going to get Matthew to chase down there. Very disciplined at the plate. Very methodical in his approach. Chopper on the infield, Godoy tossed to first, and they get out of that jam. Your Gremlins tie it up, but JB avoid any further damage. 1 apiece through 4 complete. Got ourselves a good one here, Joe.
Yes, we have.
Whether you want to improve your grip in wet conditions or just to find the control you've been looking for, the Gorilla Gold Grip Enhancer has become the most recommended name in softball and in every sport where grip plays an important role. Gorilla Gold is the only grip enhancement approved by the ISC, ASA, and NCAA.
Hello, my name is Michael Holobradek. I'm from Czech Republic, playing for Hill United Chiefs, and I'm using Gorilla Gold.
My name is Pablo Miguelvaca from Argentina, and for every game I use Gorilla Gold.
Hola, mi nombre es Samuel Vielvaso, pitcher de la selección de México, y en todos mis juegos uso Gorilla Grip.
Hi, I'm Adam Folker. I play for the Hill United Chiefs from Australia, and I've been using Gorilla Gold my whole life. My name's Jack Vesco from Australia, and I can't pitch without Gorilla Gold.
Gorilla Gold, the feel for the game.
Two, 3. Lucio Redemar leading things off, the 9 batter for JB. He's been in the leadoff spot earlier today, Joe, so not a bad spot to be with Lucio at the plate.
Got great wheels, so.
Yeah, runs really well, and we saw what kind of arm he's got. Looks at a strike. He would have seen Jack Besgrove at the U23. Lucio Redemar, a part of the Argentina team that brought home the bronze medal. Defeated Mexico in a bit of a controversial game. Swings at that rise ball, can't catch up to it. Back to the top of the shop.
Number 11, Eder.
Federico Eder. Eder? I think it's Eder.
Eder.
Federico Eder.
Besgrove with 10 strikeouts to this point. Top of the 5th inning.
Fetty popped out to Cole Evans and then struck out in the 3rd.
Ooh.
Fouls this one off the mask of Nick Mullins, and he and Glenn Brown will have a little chuckle about that, but boy, it's tough being a catcher. We say this just about every game, because just about every game a catcher takes one like that in the mask or off a thigh or an elbow or something. They just get beat up back there. They're the unsung heroes. Up and in to Eater, who, as he always does, put on a bit of a show. The game needs showmen. Sat on that, kept the hands back on the changeup, but fouled it off.
Besgrove with 78 pitches.
Still pretty close to 20 an inning.
Yeah.
A little bit more than you'd like. Strikes out Federico Eater. Ismael Pena will come to the plate. And
Shortstop number 25, Ismael Pena.
Joe Tani Mumu turned sideways there for a second. I couldn't see him. Pena way late on that rise ball from Besgrove.
Great for Mumu to get some playing time, though. This will pay dividends down the road.
Well, you know the Gremlins have got an eye on the future. Ochoa, still plenty of years left. Same with Remeke. Cole Evans, just into his mid-20s. Mumu was in the U23 program. Besgrove obviously is not even 20 yet, I don't think.
Yeah, he just turned 20.
Did he just turn 20?
Yep.
Pena strikes out. So did everybody else this inning. 11 now for Jack Besgrove on the afternoon. We've still got ourselves a tie ball game, was what I was trying to say. Heading to the home half of the fifth, the New York Gremlins coming back up to the plate.
The New York Gremlins congratulate our own Dr. Bob Nidek on his induction to the ISC Hall of Fame as this year's recipient of the Bob Welby Memorial Recognition of Service Award. Dr. Bob is a four-time ISC World Champ, winning his first two titles with the Kitchener River Shark Twins in 2008 and 2009. His second two came with us in 2018 and 2019, and he says, we're not done. Bob started in the game when he was 17 in Pennsylvania and played in a national championship in 1996. His first ISC World Tournament was 2004 in Fargo, North Dakota. Since 2012, he's been a Gremlins co-sponsor, and we couldn't be prouder of him to be recognized for all of his contributions to the game.
Congratulations, Dr. Bob.
Jerome Remeke to the dish. And Joe, a quiet afternoon for Jerome.
Yeah, just a ground out to the shortstop back in the first inning and a ground out to the first baseman back in the third inning. New York Gremlins still have 6 runners on base. 5 of those runners have been in scoring position.
Inside from Remeke, who again has got to put the elbow guard back on. Usually whenever he swings hard, it comes loose. That time he was pulling back to get out of the way and snap the strap. Takes a look at one low. 3-0, I think, right?
Yes.
Well, they turned them loose, and now 3-1. Bear Creek Express seem to be arriving for the upcoming game between themselves and the Niagara Stompers, an all-Ontario matchup in the winter bracket final.
That'll be fun to watch, too.
Well, now we've got some question on the count because the scoreboard reset. I thought he swung at the first pitch. Did he not, or was it called a strike on the first pitch?
That was jammed on his hand.
Was it? I thought that was the second one. 2-2? Yeah, okay. That's kind of what I had in my mind, too. So 2-2 on the count. Bishop picked up on that. And Villavazo can't go track that down. And Joe, you wonder how much the ankle played into that. I think normally he goes and gets that ball.
Yes. He usually has great range to his left.
You see, he was still within another step to go to get to that one. Maybe he gets it, maybe it doesn't, but I do think that's got something to do with it.
Good hard hit ball, though, by Remeke.
So aboard with his first base hit, Ben Anoka 0 for 2. A pitch outside. Godoy, a little bit of disbelief, and he's going to take a very slow stroll out to the back of the circle. There's a strike on that outside corner. He's feasted out there on the righties. There's a good look at the Gremlins Cityscape jersey. Misses downstairs. Joe, I want to say hi to Norman Ames, who is watching from a bus. They're on their way to Italy for the European Cup with his women's club team, Sparka from Haarlem, in the Netherlands. Good luck at your tournament, Norman. Thanks for being with us. Benanoka swings over that one.
Great little drop ball, though.
Well, that one on the inside corner, too. Well hit, deep left field, way back and gone. Benanoka launches one, and a 3-1 lead now for the New York Gremlins. Boy, Joe, did he get all of that.
Godoy got too much of that plate, and Anoka drove it over that left field fence.
Well, one of the few times he's come up over the knees all game, and a mistake, and look how far Benanoka hits this. My goodness, that is way out of here.
First baseman grade, Eric Ochoa.
Joe, the crowd is still agog at that home run off the bat of Ben Enoka. Eric Ochoa looks at a first pitch strike, and Roman Godoy a little downcast out there on the pitcher's slab right now. The head is tilted down. Skips this one in. Bottom of the 5th. Gremlins now lead 3-1. Still nobody out in the inning.
Godoy needs to regroup now at the plate, or sorry, on the pitcher mound. It's a lot better pitch there.
Yeah, on the outside corner. Underneath the glove of Juan Villavazo out at first. Tried to come up with that, Joe, as he leaned over to his right, but couldn't make it on the backhand stab.
Good hard hit ball by Eric Ochoa.
Substitution coming up as both Greg Neidick and Reese Casely come down to make the change. Don't know why you need 2 for that, but I guess you do. And here comes Maxi Montero, it looks like, for JB. So that'll be it for Roman Godoy. Comes undone here in the 5th inning. A monster home run off the bat of Benanoka, followed up by a hard-hit single to Eric Ochoa. And we will take a break as Max Montero will enter from stage right. So Max Montero completes his warm-up tosses, and Zenon Winters will be the first to greet him. I thought we were going to get a pinch runner for Eric Ochoa, but I guess not. Still got some depth over there on the bench to the Gremlins. First pitch, Winters grounds to short, step on the bag.
Shortstop number 34, Cole Evans.
Cole Evans will step up. That high hopper left them no opportunity to get Zenon Winters over at first, but they get the lead runner. First out of the inning. Cole Evans to the dish. Cole, a couple of singles. He's reached second and third each time, but they just haven't been able to bring him around.
6 for 13 so far. Pitching line for Roman Godoy, 4 innings, 94 pitches, 3 runs, 11 hits, 6 strikeouts, no walks.
Well, the one pitch, Joe, that he will want back will be that middle in rise ball that he threw to Benny Noka. Here's a bleeder on the infield. They turn and get the double play. 5-4 to 3 equals 2. That is some snazzy defense out there by the JB squad, turning on Cole Evans, who runs very well. Give some credit there to Ojeda, Villavazo, and Villavazo on the receiving end. JB, some work to do coming up in the 6th.
For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
It'll be Lenny Villavazo leading things off here in the top of the 6th inning. Joe seemed to recover from that ankle injury on that turn at second base on that inning-ending double play.
Well, he's still favoring it right now, Blair.
Well, it certainly didn't impact him on that one. We'll see if it has any impact on his swing. It's the lead leg. So if there's anything that will be a little bit helpful, at least it's not the drive leg for Lenny.
We'll see how he runs.
That will be the test. Of course, if you hit it out of the park, you don't have to run.
Yeah.
He's been known to do that.
Yeah.
Chopper on the infield, and yeah, taking it pretty slow down to first. Cole Evans will throw out Lenny Villavazo.
DP number 13, Nico Carrillo.
Nico Carrillo to the plate. Upstairs from Bestgrove. Snaps in a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Nico Carrillo, the DP for this JB squad.
Bestgrove with 89 pitches so far.
That one right to the screen. Almost hit the mascot. Fortunately, didn't get our camera, I don't think.
No. The umpire bailed.
Oh, and a
Great
change up
pitch.
in a beauty. Gets Carrillo waving out on his front foot.
First base number 8, Juan Villavazo.
J&B have to get something going here. this part of the order.
Juan Villavazo. That one is lined but foul down the right side. About half the infield in shadow at the moment, but really Eric Ochoa, the only player getting the benefit of it, along with Nick Mullins. Everybody else still in the sun. But a high fly ball now, Joe, on the left side, and you've mentioned this a couple of times, a high fly ball on the left side will be a bit of a challenge. Remeke, Evans, Waugh will be looking up, battling that sun.
Remeke is shading his eyes, trying to pick up that signal.
Upstairs. Chases upstairs. Juan Villavazo down on strikes. Down go JB in the top of the 6th inning. The Gremlins coming to the plate in the home half of the 6th, trying to extend this 3-1 lead. Joe Brian Avery to lead things off against Maxi Montero now and the JB squad. Got to throw up a couple zeros here, or at least one here in the bottom of the 6th, and then give your team a chance in the top of the 7th, but have got to keep the door firmly closed. And ball 4 misses downstairs to Brian Avery. Max Montero, Cardinal Sin, locked the leadoff batter. And pinch hitter here for Blake Hunter. It's Ladislav Malarzouk. Hunter really struggled with Roman Godoy couple of strikeouts, so they're going to give Malazuk a chance here against Max Montero. Montero, also a former Gremlin.
Malazuk batting for Hunter, as you had just mentioned, but out of that 8-hole, important to get some outs at that bottom part of the order.
And we're going to pinch hitter for Nick Mullins in the 9 spot, too. Our good friend Wayne Laulu is on deck. Don't miss Wayne's at bats. So that ball landed fair, but then went foul before the bag. Was it touched, is my question.
I believe he's calling it fair.
It must have been touched then by third baseman. Let's see it here if we can catch it. Can you run the replay again, Luciano? Because it definitely went foul before the bag. So it's up in the air. And he must have touched it right there, Joe, because it clearly went foul
after
the touch, but before the bag. So obviously contact made. Wayne Laulu to the plate with a great opportunity to extend the Gremlins' lead. And we're going to check on signals here. Montero and Bishop. You want to make sure you're on the right page. By the time Brown got out there, they were already finished.
Yeah.
That one misses downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike to Wayne Laulu. Still has one of the quickest bats around. And you see that one, he launches it up to left, but he hit the bottom of it, not the back. Going back to the fence is Fetty Eater, close to the track at least. Wayne Laulu just gets under one.
Outfielder number 16, Matthew. Wow.
You see Eater just over in the corner. So back to the top of the shop for Matthew Waugh, 2 for 3 today. That's actually a detractor to his average. Came in batting .750, if you can believe it.
This is key. They have to shut the door. Give themselves a fighting chance.
Brian Avery out at second. Ladisho Malazuk is at first. Off the screen, Bishop will have to chase that out. Wild pitch from Montero, and that moves everybody up the 60 feet. And Joe, we've seen this come back to haunt teams numerous times this week. The free bases given away on wild pitches.
Well, mistakes usually run into runs.
And just off the outside corner. Strike on the outside corner. Matthew checking. Is that as high as we're going? Is that as far out as we're going? It's all a science.
Yes.
Chopper on the infield. They're coming home and out at the plate. Contact play is on. The Gremlins and Greg Leather in particular love the contact play. Vivelo with a good throw to Bishop at the plate. Let's run that one again.
Third base number 6, Jerome Ray Matthew.
Can we run that replay again? See Vivelo charge it, the scoop, and throw all in one motion. Bishop puts the tag down and gets him before he gets to the plate. But the Gremlins love the contact play on the infield, Joe. And when I talked to Greg about it, and I don't know why this works out this way, but American teams seem to run that a lot more than Canadian teams. Waugh up to second on the wild pitch. And Greg tells me you force the infield to make a perfect play to get you to the plate, and it's a 50-50 whether or not they will. And if you can score at least 50% of the time or more, then it's worth the chance.
Yeah. Ball hit to that right side of that infield, and we had talked about potential of Vivelo not being that mobile, but he charged the ball extremely well there.
Just off the outside corner. Remicky's one of those guys who likes to call his own balls and strikes just to help out the umpire.
Yeah.
You may have heard him say, nope, nope. Never says, yep. Yeah, now they're going to try to score, and they do as Malor-Zook alertly gets home on the wild pitch / pass ball. We'll see it here. It's down in the dirt. It skips on Bishop. He can't handle that.
Montero was a little late getting off the mound, too.
It doesn't go far, but it doesn't take much for Ladisho Malor-Zook to get the jump. And now 4-1 for the Gremlins. And what was going to be a tough order becomes even tougher. Well, Jerome Remicky was headed down to first, but
he forgot to say no.
Yes, that's what it was. Matthew Waugh up to third on the play, and Matthew is not adverse to coming home on a pass ball either. And there's ball 4 this time, and Montero is something is missing on that pitch because he's been skipping all of them in. Either he's not clearing the hip enough with the hand or what, but this one you'll see down in the dirt again, just hits right in front of the plate, a 45-footer.
Two walks and a single since he came in the game, 26 pitches. Has not recorded a strikeout yet.
Well, Benanoka to the plate. The last we saw Benanoka, he was hitting one 338 feet. Falls behind 0-2 to Montero. 2 down in the inning, a run in on a couple of wild pitches. Just off the corner. Can't get Anoka to chase. And gets him to chase this time down and in. But now a 3-run lead for the New York Gremlins as they look to advance to a matchup with the Hill United Chiefs tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. That's what's at stake for this one. JB down to their final 3 outs. Need to score 3 runs.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon. Welcome to Mont Hill.
For the best bear tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts.
Pinch hitter Jorge Pena will lead off the top of the 7th inning in place of Gonzalo Ojeda for JB. Pena was in the order last game, Joe. Coming up, Joe, Niagara Stompers, Bear Creek Express. It's the winter bracket final. Friday night, prime time. Sean Cleary, Huemo Mata. Did you think it was going to be anybody else? Of course it wasn't going to be anybody else. An all-Ontario matchup in the winter bracket final. Looking forward to this one. These 2 teams have played each other a bunch all season, back and forth. Pena swings through, down on strikes, and just the smallest of fist bumps there from Jack Besgrove. Watch at the end. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but we just cut out before. But just a little tiny fist pump. Cesar Rodriguez has accounted for JB's only run, a home run into the right field beer tent. That big tent that you see from our home plate shot, green and white, just behind the flags of Mexico, New Zealand, Canada, and the United States. Those are the 4 countries where the teams are from that were participating in the ISC World Tournament this year. Monterrey, Mexico, the home to the Oma Tigre. Rodriguez made short work of by Besgrove.
Catching number 35, Bo Bishop.
Bo Bishop has not had any success figuring out Besgrove today. Joe, the strikeout count?
16.
16 big ones for Jack Besgrove.
103 pitches.
Little off speed to start Bishop. Can't get him to chase. Bishop, a monster home run earlier today in their game against Grand Prairie. And this one is lifted up in the air. Right field. Brian Avery will settle under it, and that is the ball game. The New York Gremlins survive an early deficit. They come back to score 4 on JB. Ben Anoka, a big 2-run home run in the bottom of the 5th. They push another one across in the 6th. And they will have a date with the Hill United Chiefs tomorrow at 11 a.m. But coming up, it's the winter bracket final. Come back with us in about 15 minutes. Call it 7:05 Central Time, 8:05 in Eastern Time 5 minutes after the hour where you are, or if you're in Newfoundland, 35 minutes. For Joe Todd, Luciano Lafrano, Carol Doreste, and our friend Lang Harrell, who stopped by, thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you on the flip side.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier.